Probably should have said something.
I just remember being in like a very...
Yeah, you're good.
Welcome back to full-on poker, 39 months in a
Wait,
row.
too much? So it picks up everybody.
39
I haven't
months.
played a lot of live cash since the series.
Two real hands going at it.
Yeah, I'm only 5 minutes from there, so...
Next interesting hand comes when we look down at the second best hand ever created, Pocket Kings. Go ahead and raise it up in first position, and we see 3 callers, 4 ways to another pretty favorable flop here. Running good so far on this run it up home game. Flop ourselves top set, which is the actual nuts here on this board. It's such a dry flop, and we block a lot of the continuing ranges here. So I just decided to slow play it and check it over. Brad decides to bet the 10s, and Jason Somerville pops in there with a check raise on the King 7-3 offsuit. It's going to be tough to do anything when it's on me that's not going to look extremely strong. Putting in a 3-bet on this flop, probably way too strong.
Early, make sure they have extra tables for us.
I think there's like a license thing. They can
Well,
only
no,
run so many
no, they shut down to 1 table last time, like at night, and me, Maz, and Sean, a bunch of people came down, and the whole table was full. And they had
Putting in the flat call, also extremely strong. You can see me look over at Brad and just kind of give him a little bit of a chuckle. He chuckles back because he knows something is definitely up here. Jason also knows that something is up here. Again, there's just no way for this not to look extremely strong. I put a little teaser bet out there of $15 just to bring Jason Somerville along. I don't know if that's the best idea considering the fact that he does have a hand that he probably will have a lot of the time, a flopped gut shot. So I should probably bet a little bit more than $15. He's got about a pot-sized bet left behind here on the river, just trying to get some bet, trying to get some money out of him on the river, which is probably impossible at this point once the exact gut shot that he has missed. Good thing he didn't have 5-6, otherwise that $15 bet on the turn would have looked real dumb instead of just kind of dumb like it does in this instance, but as it is, we'll take it down.
when you peeked, all I saw was the 4. I'm like, oh my god, he hit 2 pair, here we go. And then I saw the other, I was like, oh no.
Set on this? Didn't make any sense.
Huge letdown.
Why not? King 7-3 rainbow? I could raise a set. Why not? I don't think so. This is a wild card game. You never know what might happen.
I looked over, you looked like you were up to no good.
Well, you called, then I definitely raise.
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel better. In some imaginary universe.
Okay, we have so far seen the second best hand ever created, and now we have upgraded to the best hand ever created, the old pocket aces. So we come in for a standard raise from under the gun. We see 3 callers, and unfortunately for Jason Somerville, he finds ace king in the big blind, prime squeeze spot. Not going to be a whole lot of analysis that goes along with this hand, so we're just going to watch this one unfold here.
And a really good squeeze spot for him. Seems like he's going to just run into it, though. I don't think he's getting away from this.
So
Andrew could make it 420 here. He could do it. He has the option available. That button still exists for him. Do it.
Here comes the 420 re-raise.
Look at
Raise
that. Boom.
420.
420 it is. We all knew it was coming.
What's after that? 690?
I can't even, I guess I thought I could.
Are you all? It would be all in 690, wouldn't it?
No,
you're a little higher.
no, I have a little
David.
more than that. Okay.
Likely this is just going to go in.
Jason's all in.
Neeme's,
Good luck,
Neeme's
both
going
of
to
you.
snap it
Got
off.
it.
Jason
Got
with
it.
6% equity.
You got the aces?
You got queen, queen?
Wow, that's a tough hand for me to beat.
God, did I dodge
no.
it? Don't do.
Ah, chips! Ooh,
Oh?
not that useful.
Not a very good flop.
It was a fake.
Not
Dead
that
on the
useful.
turn.
Yeah, I didn't see the diamond.
More
There you
money
go.
to the Neeme pile.
No flips, but just straight victory.
Easy.
Easy game.
What can you do?
What
a cooler.
can you do? Adding to the mountain. It feels so good to stack chips. Just look at that. Just, how comfortable of a situation it is.
Drink slow down.
I feel like
that
someone
shuffle.
needs to make the pot a little bit messy, though.
Now we got to bring this live stream table to a meetup game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That would be
that's
sick.
next step.
That'd be sick.
Meetup games are
You
cool.
can make a portable little cam stand or something. You can just pop up around
We're actually
it.
thinking
Raise
about
to
trying to
35?
find a way to kind of make it a little bit more mobile, since obviously we have like some big equipment now. But putting everything in backpacks somehow would be sick. I'm like getting a fold-up tabletop somehow.
Not
Not
really.
really.
The table, just the
That's
legs
pretty cool.
collapse in, but just the gearing.
Well, you don't
put
even
it-
need the legs. If you could imagine putting the tabletop on top of a table.
All right, we skip ahead a little bit here. Looking down at yet another premium hand, we get dealt pocket kings once again. Brad brings it in from first position with the ace queen offsuit, and I'm in the straddle position. I put in a 3-bet. My 3-bet range is going to be pretty snug here. We're incentivized to flat call a lot of our hands, getting a pretty good price, and especially not looking to 3-bet bluff in what is essentially the under the gun raiser, but actually in the hijack. That being said, Brad has ace queen, so can't really blame him for a call. Flop is not a good one for us, comes ace high, so I slow it down with a check, and Brad plays some pot control, checks it back. Turn is a pretty favorable card though, not gonna lie. King of spades, bringing a second flush draw on board. With 2 flush draws on board, plus some Broadway draws, pretty obvious bet spot here. Gonna go ahead and bet it. Could maybe mix it up with some flush draws, but also maybe turn some other hands into a bluff like 10-jack, something like that. Could also be betting a worse hand for value like ace-jack, where Brad might think his ace-queen is good. So after we bet, again, can't blame Brad for a call there. River does complete the front door flush, but you would have to assume that I would bet that on the flop. Just going to be a straightforward value bet here. Going to go ahead and size it up a little bit, but not go too crazy. I go ahead and bet, and Brad himself has probably a pretty good bluff catcher here. He has an ace, top kicker. He's got a diamond in his hand, so he does block some flushes, and he doesn't have any spades in his hand. So probably a pretty good candidate to just go ahead and call it there. And some additional run good that we find. Another pot headed our way.
Pretty solid turn card for if your name is Andrew Neeme. But Brad Owen, not so much. More stacking.
This is like my happy moment. This is the one time that it comes around. You're on my left, where I'm happy.
So I'm not sure. I'm really bad at directions. Like my navigation spot, my brain is missing.
40.
Too bad you have a hand you like.
Not really. It's kind of mandatory. Wow. Jerk.
Neeme re-raised to 125.
Neeme with another real hand here. You're betting the ace-king offsuit.
Well, good thing the game was earlier, so.
Bank's still open.
Yeah, exactly.
Jamie here with
420?
ace-king
Maybe that was the
suited.
plan.
Neeme re-raises to 420.
3 bets to the approved sizing.
You guys are thinking real deep.
These are 2 of the deeper players at the table.
This is a pretty interesting spot here with ace-king versus ace-king, especially considering that we are both over $2,500 effective.
For closing, that's right.
I'm way too nitty to not.
You're on my left.
They started this
Not have
hand
it?
effectively
Yeah.
like 250
Didn't
big
even
blinds
pick.
deep.
Pretty deep spot here, and not a great spot to be facing a cold 4-bet, especially from Jamie, who's not been getting out of line. But it's pretty funny, though. She initially gives me an offer that I can see a card before I make any decision facing her 4-bet. I say, really? Okay, I'll take a look. And then she changes her mind. She decides that's not a good idea.
With the straddle.
Before I do anything?
For sure.
Really?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I mean, you can pick. Your legal team may not show you.
Sorry, what was that percentage? You said do not do that.
Yeah. We object to her statement, and we're going to take that stricken.
Yeah. Redacted.
And she takes the offer back off the table. And it's an interesting interaction because I sort of give her a good look over. And I feel like when she does that, she's a little bit hesitant and didn't really have the strongest look about her when she went through that whole performance, whatever it was. And you can see it on my face here. You can see where I'm definitely considering just ripping it in here, but that's easier said than done. Again, over $2,500 effective versus a player who's not getting out of line at all. I decided to flat call. We are in position, so we can play some boards, see what happens here.
It would have been really hard to see one of your cards.
I'm really glad I didn't show that one
Yeah,
card. Those
yeah.
really hard to play going
This would be
forward.
uncomfortable.
6 high, please.
It's a good start.
6 high, please. That's an interesting statement.
It's a black guy.
Both players missed this flop. Means that Jamie is going to win this hand more often than Neeme.
Flop comes jack high, and neither of us are in love with the flop. She goes ahead and puts in maybe a standard down bet, $300. Don't want to give it up to 1 bet, so I go ahead and call.
Feels kind of obligated. Nine turn kind of a brick for both players. Wouldn't be surprised if they both check here, but Jamie would probably win this with another bet.
Check.
Okay, check.
Check, check. Both players just trying to get to a showdown. Seems like.
Check.
Ace
Goes
king high.
Check, check again, and they
Okay.
expect to
One more card, please.
chop it up.
Heart.
Yes,
Wow,
that
there it is.
She instantly reaches for it. Thank you.
Nice hand.
Just fire all streets.
I really
He
was
fire
going
all
to show you. You
streets. He
pointed at
folds.
this one too. And I was
yeah?
just like, do I just turn this over here? And then I'm like, I had beer for breakfast. I'll just skip this one.